There's a bigger issue here. Just because a group of people belong to the Federation, it does not mean that they are saints. The trouble is Earth. On Earth, there is no poverty, no crime, no war. You look out the window of Starfleet headquarters and you see paradise. Well, it's easy to be a saint in paradise. Out there, all the problems haven't been solved yet. Out there are no saints, just people. Angry, scared, determined people who are going to do whatever it takes to survive.
What I want to know is, out of all the stories you told me, which ones were true and which ones weren't?
My dear doctor, they're all true.
Even the lies?
Especially the lies.
On behalf of the Bajoran government
And the Promenade Merchants Association.
I officially welcome you to Deep Space Nine.
Welcome back to Especially the Lies, a Deep Space Nine podcast brought to you by this group of degenerate fucks. We are here tonight to discuss the episode Whispers. To get us started, let's go ahead and do some introductions. I am Blake, and with me is...
Chris. Prentice, not a sex worker.
Christopher.
Mike.
And Miss White Folks. Jessi.
Because that in no way is going to get us any commentary.
I hate you guys. Can we?
For a synopsis on anything ranging from sex trafficking to whatever else we have going, let's have Christopher try to pull us out of the gutter, because I understand he has some thoughts and feels on this week's episode.
When Molly gives sass, the new ensign is doing his job. Bashir requires his physical, and Commander Sisko orders him to do his damn job, and Keiko denies him sex. O'Brien decides that aliens are responsible and not that he might be an insufferable twat. Turns out he's right.
What?
All been there.
I have no idea where to even go from that, actually. How about we go to some first impressions? And I'm really struggling where to go here because everybody looks equally fucking confused. So let's start with Jessi.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. I had no fucking idea what was going on in most of this episode. I didn't really like it. That's going to be a huge surprise. My very first thing that I wrote down is Keiko is lying to O'Brien. Everybody's lying to O'Brien. That's basically the whole fucking gist of the entire fucking episode. And then right before I fell asleep, at the end, we found out that he was a clone. That's my first impression.
Okay. Let's go with Chris for your first impression. Then we'll go back to Christopher over there in a minute. I'm still...
Oh, man, this is great. So, yeah, I initially, until the end, because I honestly was a little bit surprised by the way it ended, because I didn't really see it coming until a few minutes before it actually was revealed. But I was thinking that the episode should be called The Disrespect, not Whispers, because I'm like, why? Everybody's just straight up disrespecting O'Brien left and right. Mm-hmm. There wasn't enough Jamaican, dark, double hot, double sweet, whatever, from a replicator that was going to be able to get him through this one. So I'm like, the disrespect is just outlandish. And then I see Keiko and Sisko creep, and I'm like, oh, so she wants that dark, double hot, double sweet. She's tired of that O'Brien. So I'm like, what's going on? And then the kid's giving him sass. I'm like, yo, so not only is she stepping out, but now she's got the kid turning on her pops as well. Like, yo, your daddy ain't shit. So now Molly's like, yeah, daddy, you ain't shit. I'm like, the disrespect is crazy around the space station, right? And then he's like, well, Odo gets back. Odo, I'm like, yeah, my man Odo, when Odo gets back, and he gets back, and he's on the disrespect. He's starting to play O'Brien. I'm like, yo, this is beyond the worst day ever, right, for a character. It was kind of all over the place in just terms of kind of like what I was thinking, trying to figure out what was going on. The scene where he was sitting down at his computer, where he was like, yeah, I had to stay up because I wanted Keiko to go to sleep so I could start doing my own investigation. And then freaking, he's talking as loud as he fucking can in the next room. The computer volume is set to max. It's dumb loud. I'm like, how is this secret investigating when you're loud as shit? So I don't know. The episode was kind of all over the place for me. I did actually enjoy it. I don't think it was great, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was Just kind of out of left field, though, in my opinion.
Sum that all up with that last sentence, but no. Blake's face is just like
Christopher, would our angry Alvin the Chipmunk like to weigh in with some additional thoughts?
why?
Look, so I saw this was an O'Brien episode, and I considered being sick this week. But I'm actually glad that I stuck it out.
Is it because you and O'Brien are so much alike? Is that why you don't like these?
You know, it might be, okay? There is something about him that I just cannot stand. But this was an enjoyable episode. I like that it kind of kept me guessing, trying to figure out what was actually going on until the end. And I like that it had kind of a little bit of comedy, like Quark coming up to him and O'Brien calling him out on like, okay, yeah, what rule of acquisition is that? Right? That was funny. And like how Quark was like, are you and Bashir gonna have the rematch? And he's like, what rematch? He just went off on him. That was a great scene. And I actually enjoyed that, like they had that little bit of continuity from a few episodes ago and brought it up. So overall I enjoyed the episode. Like I said, I'm glad I was wrong and I stuck around and I'm not sick tonight.
I'm starting to question what episode you watched. Also, your sense of humor is a little fucking different than mine.
Jessi,
That was funny.
It took you 20 years to
Jessi.
figure this out.
We listen and we don't judge.
Oh no, we listen and judge the fuck out of Christopher. Let's
Oh
just
yeah,
be
we
very
absolutely judge.
So let's go ahead and switch over to our longtime fans of the show. And judging by some reactions, Prentice, I got to get your take on this first because I think you're going to have some thoughts now.
There's a lot going on tonight. So let me focus on the episode and focus on the episode exclusively right now. It was an average episode. I forgot the ending. I was surprised. I didn't remember that ending. Also, we had a special appearance by the Packlets, an alien that was featured on Next Generation. I had not remembered that alien was in the episode. For those of you that may not have seen Next Generation, there was an episode with Geordi LaForge, and the entire crew were tricked by aliens that pretended to be slow. And actually, the aliens were not as slow as they suspected. So it was interesting to see that alien. That was the alien talk to Jake Sisko in the promenade. So that was kind of the catch I saw. Overall, the episode was average. I can't wait till we get to the end. I think this is episode 14 for the season, is it? So I just can't wait for things to start speeding up. Other than that, it was an average episode. I kept it sanitary. No craziness. Chris, you lost me with your review of the episode. I'm like, wow, dude, you really went there. All right, next. Let's go to the next person. Keep it staying.
Emily.
I like this episode. I think it's a good O'Brien episode. I mean, for an O'Brien must suffer, essentially. It does give us an interesting look into how he views relationships with other members of the crew. I'm sorry. I'm still coughing from laughing at Chris's first impression. No, I like it. The ending is a bit unexpected. I mean, you do expect like there's something going on because that's absolutely not how Keiko responds to him at all. So seeing that dynamic switch, you're like, ooh, something's weird. What's like, is there something with O'Brien? Did something happen on DS9 while he's gone? So I do like that the ending was a little bit different. And that O'Brien understood what fake O'Brien was trying to do. Because they're like, what is this doing? What is he doing? He's like, he's probably trying to warn somebody that something's going on. But I enjoyed it.
Mike.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those episodes where the best thing I can say about it is that I appreciated the overall idea, like the concept of it, more than the execution. I kind of thought the whole thing was pretty clever. It's probably something that's been done before in some other movie or show, and I'm just not two and two together. But like the whole idea that you go through the episode thinking you're following our man O'Brien, and he is suspicious and trying to turn the lens outward, and then the big reveal at the end is like, oh, that hasn't been O'Brien this entire episode. Like that's like a pretty cool idea, honestly. But then like you guys, I forgot where this was going when I was watching it because it's just not a very memorable episode in the grand scheme of things. So the big reveal happens and then the credits roll, and I was kind of like thinking about all of the earlier scenes, like the first 40 minutes of the episode, and I was kind of like, what the fuck? Like Like they knew that he was not really O'Brien this whole time and just let him like go hang out in bed with Keiko all night and like all these things. I'm just like, what? So clearly Odo was away and did not implement security protocols that I think he should have probably or would have probably done. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of a weird mix of good concept, a lot of nonsense, pretty middle of the road, I guess, if you average it all out for me.
So I like this episode, but I also think it's a theme we've seen a little overdone in Star Trek, because we already kind of saw this in TNG with the character Will Riker when they found his transporter duplicate. That they renamed Thomas Riker. So we kind of saw a similar type theme of a duplicate there. We'll see it again in Star Trek Voyager with Non Sequitur. So I think this is something they've leaned on a few times, but overall, I like the O'Brien episodes. I think Cole Meany is a fantastic actor, and the way he decided to actually play O'Brien, not as anything different. So Replicant O'Brien, he played exactly how O'Brien would react through it. So I think his acting was phenomenal through the whole thing. I think that truly carried the episode, with it being that focused on him. And you get to see little pieces through the episode. I won't say which ones they are. We'll probably talk more about it as we go through. But I think this episode does start to build a little bit into O'Brien. You start to see more relationships as they come through. And I think the direction style in this, it almost has that film noir type atmosphere to it. And you've got the O'Brien must suffer theme with it. You've got the way they shot it. So I don't dislike it. I just think it was kind of an overused story at some point in Star Trek. Now, I do have to ask, Christopher.
Yes.
Is that a clicking pin you have in your hand?
Yes.
Have you been clicking that fucking pin?
I will drive to fucking DC right now.
And the reason I'm asking is because I've been editing these episodes trying to find that goddamn click. And so help me God, I will get on an airplane and shove that pin up your ass.
What's that clicking noise?
He's now finding a new pin.
Who fucking raised this kid? I got
Find
questions.
a better fidget toy, douche.
Okay, now that that's out of the way, moving right along. I told Emily this the other day that I was trying to figure out where this goddamn click was coming from.
You told me that too. And you're like, it's okay. We're recording them separately. It was coming, Christopher. You just figured out early.
Just figured it out early. Found the problem. We're good.
Christopher's usually the problem. It's fine. We're moving on.
Yeah, if you haven't figured that out by now.
Okay, so let's move into some conversation on this episode. And who wants to start us off?
Christopher?
Or Chris. I mean, either one at this point could.
Right.
I want to hear more about Chris's opinion on
Absolutely nothing. Anyway,
Keiko having to share the same bed with O'Brien. I want opinions on that.
Disrespect. The name of this pod needs to be the disrespect, man.
Damn. Let's contain Christopher, please.
I mean, like real O'Brien okayed it, right? And that was the reason, like, she was getting up at 5:30 and saying that she wanted Molly to go watch Vulcan Miss Rachel, right? So she was in on it. She said, okay, let's go. And Blake, as you alluded to, like the relationships, how it was kind of showing O'Brien's relationships with others on the station. And as much as, like, you think that he hates Bashir, when he was getting the physical done and he was talking to him and saying, what I told you about my parents, I told you how, was it his mom who died?
Yeah, it was his mother.
Yeah. I told you how my mom died and how my dad's getting remarried. And so it just, I like that you're getting to kind of peel the onion back a little bit on it.
We're fine, really. We're good.
Sure you are. Why is Jessi dying over here?
Don't worry about it.
Nothing you need to concern yourself with.
I think they kind of just glossed over the whole like explanation at the end. Like I kind of wish a part of me wishes they would have spent a little bit more time kind of laying out exactly what happened. When you have episodes like this, kind of not like a whodunit, but more like a mystery, kind of what's going on, Twilight Zone, things are kind of weird type shit. That at the end, they usually take a sufficient amount of time to explain this is why all this shit looked this way, right? This is why it all went down this way. So I feel like in this one, when they clapped the clone at the end, and then the real O'Brien came out and was like, had the black eye, he had the shiner, and was like, "Oh shit, you killed my clone," and they were just kind of like, roll credits. Dun, 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 dun. And it was like, wait a minute, what the fuck just happened? I wish they would have done a little bit more explaining of how all this shit came to pass. Maybe tie it into certain things, certain tells, or certain little hints that they dropped during the episode that maybe we as viewers didn't really pick up on, or we picked up on but couldn't explain. Like, tie it in at the end. I felt like the episode missed that.
I'm not so sure I agree with that part, because I think the quick tie-up worked, because they did kind of say that they weren't sure if O'Brien had been captured or not. They were still searching for O'Brien up until he fled the station. And they even mentioned that Bashir said through the exam they couldn't tell if it was the real O'Brien or not. So I think the quick wrap-up kind of worked.
Yeah, no, it worked, obviously, because like when I finished watching the episode, I wasn't like, this shit doesn't make any sense. They didn't explain anything. Like, what's going on? So it definitely worked. What I'm saying is I would have liked for them to go into it a little bit more. Because when I watch episodes like this, I want to get more of that tie-in kind of. And he's not a really great example because he doesn't really do it successfully anymore. But like M. Night Shyamalan, right? Like, what do you mean I've been dead the whole time? And then they go through the sequences within the movie where it shows like, oh shit, that did happen. And I didn't even fucking realize it. You kind of tie it all together with scenes that have actually taken place to make it kind of, I don't know, hit harder or land better. For me, that's what I would have liked to see. But to your point, Blake, you're right. It does work. They did put it in there. The explanation is there. I just wish they would have added a little more to it.
I was just thinking of one-hit wonders and M. Night Shyamalan. One good movie and a whole bunch of shitty ones.
Didn't he do Signs?
Yes, that's what I mean by some shitty
That's
ones.
the good movie?
No, that was not the good movie.
Sixth Sense is the good movie.
Blake,
Sixth Sense is the good one. The rest sucked.
That's not at all fair to say. We're way off topic. That is not at all fair to say, because she consistently makes 66% of a good movie over and over and over.
What
Like
one are you saying was good?
The first good, the first however much of Signs was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I'll give you
the
that.
Village
Signs
too,
was good.
man. Like the Village was outstanding until they revealed what was going on.
Yes, I will admit that. Signs in Village all the way up until the reveal at the end.
Hell, even The Happening, although they ripped the mask off that one at like 50% head. So we running around trying not to get killed by tweez.
You say rip the mask off, and all I can picture is Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. But
okay.
So Jessi, let's talk more about pimping out Ethel and her Krispy Kreme fortune.
I'm a little concerned that Mr. High Society over here is too good for Krispy Kreme donuts these days. That would speak volumes to me, but my bad ass, I guess clearly poor and different.
25 years
So we're
ago
moving
in
on.
college, Krispy Kreme would have been enough. Not these days. All right.
Well, then maybe I'll forego my 30% and just take the Krispy Kreme.
Look, bro, I got a failing business over here. I think this me and Ethel might.
I'm not getting paid right now for doing my job, so I digress.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, don't at me. Pish, high society, my bad. God damn it. Welcome to my bachelorette party.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch. All right.
So my question, back to the podcast. My question is this. Did at the end they say what actually happened and how he got a copy of himself?
Really?
Not really, no.
Kind of hated it a lot.
I mean, I'll say, I agree with Chris on this one. More wrap up would have made this a way more satisfying episode experience. And like you said, there had been little hints along the way that I could have figured out the mystery or had some guess at it. That would have been nice. I get that they didn't need to do that, but my personal preference would have been that there would have been something. And I mean, then I got to ask, when O'Brien gets back to the station and finds out what his clone has been up to, my dude's going to have some questions.
I want to know how she knew that it wasn't him to say no to sex. Was he supposed to just take it? How'd you know it wasn't him?
She just treated him super weird for no reason at all.
Right. And she's like, eat your fucking yucky looking stew and I'm going to eat my salad.
Well,
and I thought
did
she was
she
trying
poison
to
that
poison him.
stew?
What?
I was just asking the same question. You said you thought she was going to poison him, and that's what I was asking. Was like, did she fucking poison that stew?
That's
like,
what I thought. Like, he's like, fuck you, I'm not gonna eat the stew. Except she said that's your favorite fucking meal, and
And
like,
then he
eat
goes,
your fucking stew. And I'm
and
like,
then he's
oh,
like,
she's trying to kill him.
and he goes back to test it or something, and she had already like put it down the garbage disposal. And
Don't leave the evidence out, for fuck's sake.
Well,
Look,
and
I
then
know this, but
did Molly
he
know
seemed
that it wasn't
surprised.
him too? Because, like, listen, gentle parenting only works on gentle children.
No,
And I
kids,
would have,
kids could smell that.
I was,
You're not my real dad. Fuck you.
And I think the challenge with the episode is they couldn't really reveal any of that without giving the plot away. Because had they had like a all staff briefing of, hey, we think this isn't really O'Brien, it would have given away the whole thing, and then the episode
but,
never
like,
would have worked.
that's a totally different episode, which I think they could have made work. Like, hey, we think this guy's not this guy. And then they go into all these crazy shenanigans, like, let's figure out if it is this guy. That could have been a whole different episode going a totally different way. This episode fucking sucked. I don't know why you guys liked it. I did not. This is a normal thing for me, usually. I literally fell asleep at the fucking climax of the fucking thing. I closed my eyes. I was like, I'm just going to
never mind.
Falling asleep at the climax.
It was not the first time. Moving on. God damn you guys.
Prentice.
Save us, Prentice.
I just had a question. So is it implied toward the end that all the senior staff knew that he was a replicant?
See, I wondered that too. I really don't know. I'm like, if they did think that, how irresponsible is it that they let him run around instead of putting him in the brig and letting him figure it out later?
Well, they took away all of his accesses, right? He had to go in, and I think they kind of figured, okay, well, if we take away this access, and we lock him in here, and we know how he thinks, right? We kind of know what he's going to do. So I think, look, to move the plot, they were trying to not just throw him in the brig, right?
They should have just called this episode gaslighting.
I took it as they were stalling until they could figure out, is this O'Brien, is this not O'Brien? Let's limit what he has access to, but not tip our hand, because as they also said at the end, the replicant would have had some kind of programming that would have kicked in.
Fuck off.
Since this is now an audio podcast, Jessi just changed her shirt. I'll let the listeners decide if she did it on camera for the rest of us or not. But she just changed her shirt to one that says, "Shut up, Mike. No more from you today." She was wearing her Narnhub shirt from Grey 17 earlier. Like I said, I will let the listeners decide when and how Jessi changed her shirt. But for now, let's go to Emily.
No, I'm just
And
going to
then Mike
say,
told me to fuck
super
off.
disappointing.
What I thought was weird was O'Brien's access to people's personal logs. Like, I don't,
Dude,
Yeah.
like that just, oh, that gave me the ick. I get if you're doing just basic station report stuff, but if people are tossing like personal stuff, not everyone needs to know that.
Well, because
And then all of a sudden he's
Full of
blocked
links
them.
as a
browsing
journal,
history.
right? Because he's like, I hope they don't find my sex letters to Keiko in here. Right? Like,
Oh, like that part
doesn't
really
need to be
made me
part of the record.
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, in the future, everybody in the Federation is required to keep like a GeoCities personal diary website for everyone to look at.
Well, and they establish later, and this gets to me for I'm not usually the guy that dings continuity in the shows. I usually get annoyed with the people that want to start in on continuity and citing. In this episode, they said those people usually annoy me. I'm like, enjoy the fucking show. But this is one thing they do establish pretty clearly later, that access to personal logs is somewhat restrictive. And in this one, you've just caught O'Brien there. Hey, let's browse through some personal logs for the hell of it. So it kind of just, that part I will admit kind of threw me with the episode, how easy he was just able to get into whatever the hell he wanted.
True story. I'll tell you the whole story later, but I had a coworker who used to do that. He worked in the IT department and just frequently read everybody's emails because he could. Yeah.
Fun.
Homie got fired when they found out. He also sent a few emails posing as somebody else.
Oh shit.
What?
hmm
Wow.
Good times.
I had an ex-boyfriend that
life
did
in
that.
small business.
I had an ex that did that. He picked up my phone and sent a text message to some guy that I wasn't talking to, but I was like, what the fuck? Like, I woke up to a response and I was like, what the fuck? Why would you send me that? And then I was like, okay, I didn't. And then he accused me of sleeping with the guy. Crazy. He's from Chicago. That tells me a lot.
Hey.
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand the game there, but
why are we catching strays for nothing?
I'm telling you,
listen.
this episode of the pod needs to be called The Disrespect because it's just nonstop.
Yeah, I agree with that one. The disrespect. Wow.
Okay, Chris, this is the first time I've taken a shot at you. And sir, you opened the show with a shot. So you're not allowed to talk about me.
So does anybody have
literally
anything
busted
else
Prentice
about
out
the
the whole
actual
world.
episode that we watched or that Christopher watched? Because I'm not sure he watched the same one.
Chris is the only one that watched anything, and we just want to talk shit about each other.
Somebody save this show, please.
Look, there's no saving it.
You start to kind of figure it out as you're seeing other little things. Like, look, any good chief knows that his primary job is to train the ensign. So, like, when I saw that, Chief's not doing his job. But then, like, when it was just, there were little clues that Jake just all of a sudden not showing up, right? Seeing Keiko and Cisco in the promenade, and then Jake giving away, like, my grades are great. What are you talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could tell, like, something was up, something was off, and it was beginning to seem more and more that it was him that was off, because everybody around him was conspiring against him, right? And if it was, I didn't think that if my theory that aliens had taken over the station, which was like my initial theory, that it would be that coordinated. They wouldn't be able to keep it up as well as they did. And so I thought that they did it well enough that you kind of got, okay, something is wrong with O'Brien and not just the station in general.
Chris?
At the end, when they were doing their wrap up and laying out, the story, did they say who had created the clone? I remember them saying why they wanted this clone to infiltrate the space station and that it was going to activate during the peace somewhere. But did they say who created the clone?
Before I
The
answer
rebel
that,
faction, I thought.
Well, I see Jessi about to jump out of her
Didn't
seat.
I already ask that fucking question?
You did, but we ignored you, so let's move on.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
asking the
by all
question.
means, answer Chris's fucking question then.
Yeah, Chris asked the question. I'll fucking answer it.
Okay.
They did make a comment about government agents had been working on the replicants, so I think it was pretty much implied that it was the government faction. Which, imagine that, a government faction doing something shady as fuck to try to get people they don't like, because that doesn't fucking happen.
Not in this country.
Hey, the Federation and their Homeland Security tactics of listening to everybody's private conversations. I mean, it was all over this episode.
Hello, DHS. We've missed you.
Well, and even back to the whole idea of why didn't they detain O'Brien or do something, I think they even went a little further because the whole thing about him needing to fix the upper pylons again, and I think there was even the comment in one of his logs that was that the thing that he needed to fix was so deep it could only be broken if it was done intentionally. So it's like they sabotaged the upper pylons just to like get him somewhere away from everything and isolate him in another part of the station, which is what also fueled into his paranoia of this is not adding up. This is a problem. And it was seeing those little pieces kind of build on each other in that paranoia. And I actually do remember watching this one for the first time thinking, oh, something is really wrong on the station just because the way the little pieces kept coming together. The way I especially got kind of creepy, another fantastic actress is Nana Visitor. And just that part when Jake and O'Brien are walking down the promenade and they just kind of pan back a little bit and there's Kira standing on that rail, just, Jake, your dad's looking for you. And you don't know, because you can tell Jake's kind of not in on it at this point because of that line about the grades. And that's like, okay, are they taking Jake now to do something to him to convert him to this conspiracy or what? So the way they filmed that's probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole episode is that one with Kira on that little walkway looking down with Jake, your dad's looking for you. Jessi.
I just think that like how irresponsible of them to allow this individual to go and do the things that he did. Have you not even seen the military? Go sweep the
Well, we
light
let
off the
Pete
sidewalk.
Hegseth be Secretary of War, so what's it really matter?
That's what I'm like. Hey, O'Brien, go sweep the sunlight off the sidewalk. Like, give him something else to do that doesn't include major fucking security issues to the actual station.
Well, and that's why they were giving him the pylons to fix.
Yeah, they sent him up into the docking pylons and kept him
It
away
still
from the
doesn't
security
make
arrangement.
sense. You put him in a cell.
If they tell him to go field day his office, he's going to be like, what's going on?
Okay, military sir. You of all people know, like, if you need to keep somebody busy, you send them and do something that fucking has no implication to anybody else around them. Go find the biggest pine cone that you can find. Like, it's like
they gave him busy work. They intentionally broke the damn thing, knowing that he was going to go all O'Brien on it and not stop until it was fixed, right? He was going to fixate on it. They knew that it was going to keep him occupied. I get what you're saying, Jessi, but I think that they did that.
Don't say my name. I don't like when you say my name. Don't say my name.
Right. Well, look, first of all, they greatly underestimated O'Brien then, because he figured out what the problem was way quicker than they thought he would have.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he did his whole like fugitive hacking the system escape routine and made off with a starship is proof of how stupid and irresponsible their plan was.
Thank you. Like, you are putting him in charge of some pretty serious shit, and he knows he already fixed it. So he knows that it's not like that. Gave him the tip off of like, maybe something's not right. Christopher, let me tell you something. To you, sir, thank you for actually taking this shit seriously. You win the Special Helper Award for today. Like,
Yay.
You seem to be the only one that did that today. I'm very proud of you. But like, that's the thing is, like, if you want to keep him busy, go keep him busy doing something that doesn't fucking matter. Like, count the people that have red shirts on. Like, go do something that is going to occupy your time, but not have serious security implications to the station.
Right. But short of actually detaining him, somebody at his level, what are you going to have him do?
Go find people with red shirts. This is very important to the security of the station.
I mean, they tried to make him take the physical. They kept trying to deter him and keep him occupied.
His wife wouldn't even fuck him.
Well,
maybe she should have.
A few episodes back.
Wouldn't take one for the team.
A few episodes back, she wanted to jump his bones right there before a wrecking ball.
Yeah, and that's when you know that something is wrong. Right?
Maybe you would have gotten your toes licked. Who knows what would have happened if you would have just let it go. So here's the thing, though, is like, go find something that keeps him busy, but not sets off, like, look at Blake's face.
It was the toe licking that did it.
It was the toe licking. So that's the line.
That's the line in this podcast is licking toes.
Why did I come back? Why did I agree to this?
Moving on.
God damn you, Scott. Why did you make me do this? Chris.
Yeah, no, I got to agree with Mike. Like, I think it was wildly irresponsible. I mean, thank God nothing happened to Keiko and Tamale, but at one point he did walk up on Keiko and was the full frontal hug from the back. No space for Jesus. He was all up in
frontal hug from the back.
From
no
the back.
Space for Jesus.
No space for Jesus. He was all up on it. And it could have went left real easy, but thank God it didn't. That was crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, that Mike said it. Yeah, anything could have happened, man. And then at the end, when the clone got clapped and he's dying, he's like, "Real O'Brien, tell Keiko I love." I'm like, what? You gonna sit here and you gonna mention my wife? What you doing, my wife? Like, that's crazy. I would have been looking at them like, what you doing, my wife?
I'd be like, yo, can I have your phaser? Mike. I want to make sure. Like,
double tap.
Yeah,
that is crazy. I never thought about that, Mike. But yeah, that's wildly irresponsible of them.
And I thought we were on the same page with this, Jessi. But I'm like, you put him in a cell. You don't need to keep him busy. Put him in a cell.
And here I am, like, you should have tried it. Maybe it would have been fun.
At worst, it turns out it's the real O'Brien, and you apologize, and they all got paid the same anyway. And at best, it's a soulless replicant that doesn't give a shit. Who cares?
Soulless rep.
Do we need to have the soul conversation again about?
No, we're no.
Wait.
Farming.
What soul conversation did I miss? What happened?
A Babylon 5.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh God, not.
No,
I'm
we're
not-
What
not
was it?
going
They
back
were
to that.
having, they were making clones for what? Organs? I can't remember.
For which ones?
I don't
The
know, man.
Babylon
There were a
5.
bunch of things. There were the butthole
Yeah.
aliens that were sucking people's souls into marbles, and
I
then
think Jesse's talking about the butthole aliens that like to suck things.
Show me your butthole.
So I will
Listen,
say,
Mike is the king of buttholes. Don't let him lie to you.
Yo,
whoa.
That's a wild statement.
That is
that is wild. Why did you do that to Mike?
How
that
many?
is
Let's
that
go
is a
back
title
to
that I will own with pride.
Wow, he accepted it. All right.
does that
let's
come
go
with
back
something
to
like the
Babylon
Burger
5
King
and
crown,
how
but with
many
just
times-
buttholes around it?
Wait,
or?
wait. When did Jessi change her shirt again?
Okay, so I want to push back a little bit on the idea that O'Brien should have just been put in a cell. So they think this guy
Come
might
at
be a
me.
replicant with some type of programming to activate. And so let me reference this back to Babylon 5 when you had the control thing set up with Talia, where they flipped the switch when Talia got the code and went from the personality of Talia over to evil cunt Talia. And I think the same concern you could have here with O'Brien, if they would have just immediately tried to lock him in a cell, what could have been pre-programmed as the response to that? So I think they might have tried. I think that's why they tried to keep.
Nothing a couple security guards and phasers couldn't handle.
Well, we saw how easily that worked with the security office too, though, where he took
Yeah,
out
look.
everybody and a couple guys with phasers. I think they
Those
did the calculated
security
risk.
officers had the stormtrooper training,
Yeah, look,
for
yeah.
marksmanship.
I think
You
I think
are
they took the
right about
calculated
that.
risk to say that we need to keep stringing him along so he doesn't think we suspect until we figure out what's going on, because he could potentially be more dangerous if we tried to act like something was out of the norm.
They both disrespected the man's abilities and simultaneously admitted that he might be the most dangerous person in the universe.
It's possible, yes.
Let him have access to personal fucking logs. Piss off. Like, this fucking... yeah, I hated it. I've just decided.
Could they have at least sent Keiko and Molly away and been like, hey,
right. Or at
make
least
up an
Molly.
excuse or
Yeah.
something? Like, I mean, they did get rid of, well, I can't say get rid of Molly, but she sent him to go stay with other people after that first night, and she snapped. And I don't know, maybe Keiko was like, look, Molly's going to fuck it up. She went off on O'Brien talking.
Yeah, and
Molly's
she's
the
gonna blow our
weak link.
cover. She's gonna blow our cover. We got to get her out of here. And they're like, send her to such and such. She'll have a sleepover or whatever. But like, couldn't they have sent them, got him out of harm's way?
Weird about that. Like, I sent my 3-year-old to go fucking have it overnight. What the fuck? Where's
Could
my
it have
kid?
been Molly
Like,
Molly and Keiko, could they have been the ones that have took it to like the senior staff? Like maybe that's why Keiko got up so early. Like they were in bed or something, and she's like, something is not right. The vibe is
Keiko
off.
knew.
And
Irish D was just not the same.
Yep.
Right?
First of all, I was going to say, speaking as a parent, like if he came home and they were like, "Yeah, somebody offered to take Molly for the night," I'd be like, "All right, fine."
Take him.
Like, please, Lord, take this child.
No questions asked.
Jessi.
Especially if they're just going to be right on station. Like, what?
That just shows how wildly I like this word, wildly irresponsible it was. Like, you let this dude be in the house with a woman and a child. You don't know what he was going to do. And that would have given it away for me, because the second somebody was like, oh, I let my kid go spend the night at somebody's house, pause, go get my kids don't spend the night at other people's houses because other people are fucking weirdos. Go get my kid. Like, that to me would have just been it. Fuck this episode. This episode's stupid. Can we fast forward to like season 3?
The serialization starts because the next episode is when O'Brien sues the Federation for letting them do all this.
Well, let's not forget. I would be willing to bet if we were to go into the full on, if we were to dive into this, is the Federation has the ability to keep emergency transporter locks on people. I guarantee you that someone was sitting there in ops with their finger on the transporter button, and the first sign of any issue, code words, Keiko used their not safe word, throws that out there. Someone in ops hits a button, they're beamed off.
So she says pineapples instead of kumquats.
Right.
What the fuck? Like, first of all, here, go ahead and watch these two and see if they have sex. That is what I just heard. That is not okay. Like, here, go ahead and put your hand on the button. And if she says the safe word, hit the button. Like, that's fucking strange. I hate it. How many more episodes till season 3?
Just shut up and be
A
patient.
few.
Well,
Shut up and what?
I know it's a strange concept for you.
Shut up and what? I didn't hear the second part.
Be patient.
Oh, yeah. No,
that is not Jessi's strong suit.
And what's funny is I know how much Scott liked the O'Brien episodes. Scott was an O'Brien fan. So I'm sure somewhere in the afterlife he is listening to this and really wishing he could be here to tell you.
To fuck off.
You're right. You're okay. You can be wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Scott, because you're not here to tell me otherwise.
He's in the afterlife like Denzel at the end of Training Day. Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. You think you can do this to me? That's what he's saying, right?
I have to go find some clips of him just saying you're wrong and just drop into this episode.
Please do.
Along the way. Just for some random, just in his honor to defend his love of O'Brien. Sprinkle some.
It was more than
about.
like a platonic love with O'Brien too. Let's.
Yeah,
They did him so dirty in this episode.
God had a man crush because he's not here to tell me otherwise.
Scott might have had one type of crush on Dax, but he had a very different crush on O'Brien.
Wow.
Emily,
So
am I
here's the
wrong
question.
here?
Look,
Keiko-
I'm not getting
if-
involved in this sort of Scott slander.
He's not here to
It's
say
not
anything.
It's
slander.
not slander if it's true.
Right.
I
Chris?
don't know the level of his freaky crushes. Okay, there are certain things I didn't need to know.
Freaky crushes.
God. So, any final thoughts on this episode before
Chris
we
had
get
something.
Into... Oh,
Yeah, I got
fuck.
a question. If Keiko ended up getting the snuggle nasty popping with the clone, is that cheating? Is that technically cheating? Did she cheat?
Nope. Not cheating here if you get your toes licked by the robot.
Wait.
By the robot?
I think the listeners need to weigh in on that one. I don't know.
Yes, please
Is it
tell
cheating?
us.
Yeah. Let us know.
Is
Comment.
it cheating?
If I can figure out how to add a poll to this son of a bitch, we're going to put one up there.
Yeah.
That says,
The
is it-
keyword
what-
is-
What has it been cheating?
Man, you asked
Snuggle
the
nasty.
hashtag Snuggle Nasty.
Hashtag.
Wow.
Man, you guys you asked the big question I was going to throw out there. Like, they clearly downloaded real O'Brien's brain into replicant O'Brien,
Right.
and I was just going to ask, like, how many gigabytes of Bashir hate was that? Like,
They had to make it authentic, man.
I mean, to Christopher's point, I guess it did actually shine through that he didn't actually hate him as much as I assume from based on that dialogue and interaction. But
I thought that he really hated the man because he's always complaining that he talks too much, but then it turns out he's talking right back to him.
yeah,
so-
when you dig into that dialogue a little more, it does reveal that there's more to it than is on the surface. I do appreciate that.
Okay, so any last thoughts, and then we'll get into some questions and predictions from our newbies. All right, Jessi, questions and predictions.
My first question is, why do we still do these questions and predictions when there is no questions and predictions 99.9% of the time? Moving on. Second percent. I have none. How many more episodes do we have before we can move the fuck on to some fucking serialized shit so that I can actually have questions and predictions?
When we
That's
fucking
all.
get there.
Oh, we're not there yet. Excuse me.
Or maybe we are and you're just not paying close enough attention.
God, no fucking shit. I fell asleep today at the not climax of the fucking show.
Chris.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of, I think I've said this before, though. I'm waiting for the serialized stuff to come because I kind of feel like we're just getting into these one-off with no real stakes, no real substance, no real repercussions that are going to affect anything in the long run. And it's cool for the ones where you get more information about the character's background, but something like this where it was just kind of like, here's a fucking filler episode, take it. I'm ready to get into the more substantial stuff, I guess.
And Chris.
Pepper.
Yeah, the other one.
Yeah, I don't have
Fucking guy.
anything. Or Julian and O'Brien ever actually going to have that rematch? I mean, I got nothing
Why do you look like you're in a different area of your house?
because I am.
Did you move and
No,
not tell us?
Not yet.
He's in
believe
hiding
you.
because we both threatened him about his goddamn pen.
Shoving it straight up there. You're welcome. Well, there goes my pen.
Okay, so I think we have butchered this episode just as about as much as we can for the evening, and wow, we've not derailed this much since our first one back. And I have no idea what went wrong tonight, folks, but this is what we had is
I'm
another
seeing a
fine.
common denominator here.
I got a
I've been
couple
on the
ideas.
last two.
I got a
Here
couple
we are
ideas.
again.
Does it rhyme with Jessi?
Messy?
And
Yes, it does.
And Igbo.
So thank you for joining us on Especially the Lies, a Deep Space Nine podcast. Make sure to check out all of our links down below where you can listen to us on your podcast app of choice. You can watch this on YouTube. Again, we are not doing video, so please don't message us and ask us how to activate the video file. If you can't figure out that the YouTube video does not have an actual video file to it, we really can't help you with that. Other than that, we do have the Twitter account with the new Twitter that we have going. Galvin, what the hell are you doing?
I'm just laughing at you.
Telling people that we can't control that they can't figure out how to turn video on?
Yeah.
We got nothing for it if you can't figure that shit out.
Just bless your little heart.
Your little heart.
Watch the pretty little background that moves behind the title card and just deal with listening to us and our shenanigans. And if you want to really talk to us in person, when we do put these out on Wednesday mornings, some of us degenerates are actually in the chat live chatting with you people. So show up and we'll be happy to tell you how you're wrong or which one of the podcasts is actually truly honest to God insane. I have been Blake, and this group of batshit crazy motherfuckers is
Chris.
Emily.
Prentice with all the smoke. Let's go.
Christopher.
Buttholes.
See? If you take account, it's Mike. He's winning.
By the way, Jessi has a house for sale if you'd like to buy it.
I do have a house for sale. I had 5 viewings today. Viewings, showings.
Buy a little piece of especially the Lies history.
Considering her t-shirt changes, I'm sure she has had some viewings today.
Woo!
So let's head on through that wormhole, talk to some goddamn prophets, and get these newbies on out of here.
Thank you for listening to Especially the Lies, a Deep Space Nine podcast. You can find all the places to listen to and watch this podcast by searching for Especially the Lies on your podcast app or on YouTube. We want to hear from you, so join the conversation at Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review where you are listening to or watching this podcast. Especially the Lies is not affiliated with, and the podcast has not been prepared, approved, or licensed by Paramount or any other owners of the Star Trek copyright. All clips included in this podcast are the intellectual property of the respective copyright holders. They are included here for purposes of review, and no infringement is intended.
Why have you brought me here? Show yourselves. What do you want?
The Cisco has returned to us. He arrives with questions.
There are always questions.
Did anybody ask a question about today's episode? I don't think I heard a question.
No.
I don't think so.
No, there's
No, so
nothing.
we really don't. Other than the question that keeps coming up about when things are going to be serialized, which I mean, we're getting there. We've got some episodes coming up
Yeah.
because I'm going back to the second season list, and I hate to say, oh, are we going to have some fun conversation next week with Paradise?
I got feelings. I got fucking feelings.
Now, Shadow Play, I like. I don't know if some of the others are going to like, but I like Shadow Play because that's the one with the colony that the guy sets up the holograms of everyone.
Yeah, that one's interesting. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that one I enjoy. Playing God, I don't care for.
Because Arjun is an annoying twat.
Yes. Profit and Loss isn't bad. Blood Oath is. I think we're gonna have some fun with Blood Oath. But
I
once
like
we hit
Blood
Maquis
Oath.
Part 1 and 2,
Yeah.
that's gonna be kind of the start, all the way into the end with Jim Hadar
Yeah.
Which then sets up everything going forward.
It's going to get better around episode 20.
25 is another O'Brien must suffer with Tribunal. They're not going to be real happy with that one.
No.
A crossover, I think, will be fun.
Oh yeah, that'll
Crossover will
get
be
fun.
fun. In a way, I'm glad we don't have Scott around for crossover because I think
Oh,
that could get a little out of hand.
Yeah, well, but yeah, it's it's true enough. At this point, we're deeply not serialized. We're very much story of the week. There's just not there's just not a lot of meat to chew on here. I'm not surprised that nobody has questions.
No.
Well, and I think too, because it's important to keep in mind, season 2 of DS9 was pretty much concurrent with TNG season 7.
Yeah.
And so season 3 is pretty much when DS9 gets to stand on its own and get out from the shadow of TNG. And I think that's really when they get to start doing what they want.
But yeah, and there's nothing that carries over from this one as far as I remember. There's no further replicants, so to speak.
There's not, but I threw that little bit about maybe the serialization nuggets are starting, because when they go through some of this episode is they picked up that the Macon is the new replacement for the Ganges that was destroyed in the previous episode. So they've got that new runabout coming in. They also mentioned the Cardassian Federation demilitarized zone for the first time in this episode, which is going to go on to be a little bit important a few episodes from now when we get into Maquis Part 1 and 2. So they are starting to sprinkle these little pieces in of things that have either have direct effect or that are going to come to pass.
Yeah. Like I said, and even like the racquetball rematch, or I would consider the reveal that Christopher picked up on about Bashir and O'Brien having a bit more of a relationship at this point is a carryover from last week. It's all there.
Yeah.
So I think we'll call this one here and apologize profusely to our listeners who have stuck with us for this one. We really don't know what happened this evening, but it started off hot. This was not a descent into madness. We just started there and
we were fine till Jessi showed up.
We were just talking about Tron and bad movies, and then all of a sudden here's Jessi, and it all went to hell in a handbasket. So make sure to check us out at all the links below. We do have the Patreon where you can join our Discord server. I promise we will figure out how to get that connected. We apparently aren't auto-connecting right now. I will see if I can't figure that out. And if we figure it out before I re-release this, I'll just cut this part out. But make sure to join those, check us out on all our socials, and join us for our morning chats. Until next time, I have been Blake, and with me has been...
Emily.
Prentice.
And Mike.